In a moment, we'll be speaking to the musician Andrew Roachford, who's been made an MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours. He, of course, was a driving force behind the eponymous band Roachford, and a singer with the supergroup Mike and the Mechanics. Before we catch up with him, let's hear a little extract of one of his biggest hits so far, Cuddly Toy. Happy memories, I hope, for Andrew Roachford, who joins us now from Berlin. Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
How much of a surprise was it? Because presumably in the industry, somebody who's been working for so long at such a high level is often recognised.
Well, I can't put on the magnitude of the surprise. I was in the studio finishing off a new album and I heard the news, and it was one of the most surreal days in my life. And I don't take it lightly, because there's so many great artists and musicians that I know that would be worthy of an accolade like this, and I'm surprised that it came to me. So, wow, honoured.
Do you know why you were nominated? Because somebody will have had to think, actually, it's about time Andrew was recognised. Have they given you any clue or idea?
I actually have no idea, you know, and I'm very grateful. Like I say, completely big surprise out of the blue, and my mum's really happy, so that's really important to me too.
Was she the first person who was told?
She's the first person I told, and apart from my brother, my mum, and she was just, you know, because she's invested so much time and energy into me having a musical education, so that meant a lot to me.
You mentioned your mum and dad from the Caribbean originally. You were brought up in South London. How important was that period as a child to the music you developed, and also even to getting into music at all?
Well, you know, when I was growing up as a child, you know, my parents are from the Caribbean, and it was rare to see black people, especially in the classical music field that I grew up in, and so it was very significant that I made headway in that world as a Caribbean descent person.
And again, it's a visible recognition of the contribution that the community has made over more than half a century now, particularly in London, but also more widely around the UK, and obviously the impact of your music internationally as well. I mean, we forget sometimes how big an export industry for this country successful musicians like you are. So in a sense, it's a reward both for your musical talent, but also for the amount of wealth you've helped generate for this country.
Well, when I think about like how small an island really is comparatively in the world that England is, it's a small place, Britain is, and it's contributed so much music around the world. I mean, you know, you've got people like the Beatles and the Stones and stuff like that that really has changed the face of music forever. And it's just this, and I think it's also to do with the fact that the culture is so diverse in England, more than anywhere else I can think of on the planet.
I suppose one of the dangers of honours is people think of it as a kind of, you know, the kind of pinnacle of the career. I mean, presumably you, as a performer and as a musician on tour again with Mike and the Mechanics, you're presumably not thinking of that you've reached the end of your musical career. You've got a lot more you want to give. Is that fair?
Well, that is very fair. I mean, all of my heroes in music, you know, you do it because it's your passion. It is your life. So your career ends when your life does. So I hope to stay alive long enough. And I'm still touring with my band. I'm doing the Isle of Wight Festival, and we're going to be touring later in the year. So it's still a very much ongoing thing for me.
And the passion hasn't diminished?
No, it gets stronger. It gets stronger.
Terrific. Well, on that basis, then, it will be Sir Andrew Roachford in about 15 years' time. But Andrew Roachford, MBE, thank you very much, and warmest congratulations. I hope you enjoy the ceremony when you get along to it.
Thanks.
Andrew Roachford there joining us from Berlin to celebrate his success in being one of the musicians named in this year's Queen's Birthday Honours. He becomes an MBE.